you to my colleagues. Thank you for everybody tuning in here. And I just want to start out by saying happy 250th America. You know, this great American experiment now after 250 years has proven what a government of the people, by the people, for the people can do. And nothing in the history of humanity, no rules, no laws, no systems of man have done more to improve the human condition than free market capitalism and the type of government that we have here. The rest of the world looks at us. So I just want to say happy birthday on that. And my colleagues and I have been working to make sure that we continue that prosperity, continue the promise that is the United States of America in this great experiment. And some of the wins that we've had this cycle that I'm proud of, I'm going to talk a little bit about the working family tax cuts, a little bit about securing our border, and a little bit about the Montana wins for my district. So first of all, on the working families tax cut legislation, our reconciliation bill from last year, you know, I've always said that the best path to prosperity for a family, for a small business, for anybody is access to capital. And the best capital you can access is your own. And the fact that we avoided a tax increase, which would have been 26% to an average Montana, it would have been 43% to a Montana small business, having that money in those people's pockets is incredible for being able to invest in their future, into their families, and into prosperity. You know, another part is we have a lot of farmers and ranchers in Montana. We have a lot of small business in Montana. And making sure that we didn't see that death tax come back is incredibly meaningful because our families in Montana are stuck with the very real possibility of having to sell part of, or all of a farm, you know, once you've had a tragedy in your family. And that production, agricultural land, comes out of production, you know, more often than not. And if we continue to go down that path and take that opportunity away from these families and force them to do what, you know, none of us want to do, not only is it adversarial to those families, but this is a national security issue. We lose production agricultural land, we lose the ability to feed ourselves. And throughout the history of humanity, you want to bring a country down, you make it so it can't feed itself. So really happy with what we've done there, including all the other great things that we have in that bill in delivering the largest tax cuts in American history, the no tax on tips, no tax on overtime, 88% of our seniors are not paying taxes on Social Security, all meaningful. Something else that touches Montana that I want to thank my colleagues for, you know, helping us get across the finish line is securing our southern border. We have seen in Montana since 2024, 70% drop in fentanyl seizures. Fentanyl is killing Americans. This has been a scourge, and we're finally putting a stop to that. So I want to thank the administration and my colleagues for being focused on that. This has been horrible. And then finally, I want to talk about, this is another thing we had in our one big beautiful bill, in the Working Families Tax Cut Bill, is $50 billion in rural health transformation funds. My district of central and eastern Montana, one of the most rural in the country, one of the most rural districts. And critical access hospitals and rural healthcare is a lifeline that we need to support. And I just want to say, having that $50 billion come out there, Montana, we were the fourth largest recipient. And we've only got a little over 1 million people in Montana. To be the fourth largest recipient, really, I'm excited for my district, but it also shows the very real issues we have in workforce development, in recruiting and retaining doctors, and having the financial resources to make sure that our rural communities have access to these vital systems. So I'm really, really happy that we were able to do that. And in Montana, we're working on all those issues, on workforce development, in rural healthcare, on access to technology, on financial assistance. There's so many great things that are going to boost that, and it's incredibly meaningful in my district. So I just want to thank all of my colleagues for being part of this legislation that is continuing to move the ball forward in that promise that is these United States of America and this great experiment that continues to go at 250 years. So thank you all. You know, God bless America, and you know, happy birthday.